Hi, in this one we're going to be understanding how to actually code out functions, the syntax of functions, how to define a function, and well, how to call a function in our code. This would also give us a little insight into how functions help us improve the structure of our code, the readability of our code, and also the reusability of our code. So let's just get into it. So first off, let's talk about the syntax. Now, the syntax of the function, as discussed in the last one, is such that we first need to define a function. So we use the def keyword for that, as you see on the screen. Now, once you've written the def keyword, which is short for define, you give your function a name. Now, as we recollect from the last one, a function is basically a group of lines of code. So this group of lines of code needs a certain name, which we're going to be giving to it right now. So def, let's say post image, followed by our parentheses or our opening and closing curve brackets, which is in turn followed by the colon. Now this signifies the start of our function. Once you press enter, you would see that PyCharm already gives us this 4-space indent in our code. Now, why do we have this 4-space indent? Let's take a look at that. I'm simply going to type out some gibberish with this indentation level, which is this 4-space indent, and then I'm going to run this. When I run this, I get no error, although these lines right here, they are no code. They're simply just gibberish, and Python should throw an error. The reason Python hasn't thrown an error is because Python knows that, okay, there's a function and there are some lines of code in the function. And Python is only going to execute these lines of code when you call or invoke this function. So to call or invoke a function, we'll simply write the name of the function, which is post image, followed by our parentheses. This is very, very important. You always have to use your parentheses whenever you're invoking your function. Now let's run this, and we can see that obviously Python throws an error. It says name error, name, the gibberish is not defined. So of course, we're going to have errors thrown right here at us. Python's going to be agitated and irritated if when it sees something that it does not understand. So let's write real lines of code in this function. Now, of course, for the scope of this video, we're not going to be actually writing lines of code that help you post an image somewhere. Here, we're simply going to write some print statements so that we understand the concept of functions. So I'm simply going to write print choose your image. Let's write another one. So print, are you sure you want to upload this image? And finally, let's just give a success message, which would be image successfully uploaded. All right, let's correct that. And let's run this. Now, when I run this, as we discussed earlier, as soon as the function is invoked, our program control goes to the post-image function and it executes all the lines of code that belong to the post-image function. Now, let's say I write a line of code that is not at the same indentation level. So here, I'm going to say, hello from outside the post image function, and I run this. It's gonna print hello from outside the post image function. Then Python sees the post image function invocation. It goes to the post image function and executes these 3 lines. So we have hello from outside the post image function, followed by the lines of code that were executed from the post image function. If I just comment out the invocation of the post image function right here and run this again, our output is simply hello from outside the post image function because we're not invoking or calling the post image function. All right, so now that this is clear, let's understand how this helps us increase the readability of our code. Let's take an example here. I'm just going to copy these 3 lines from the post image function and I'm going to comment out this function. So now when I run, I have no output because there's no lines of code as such written that need to be executed. I'm simply going to paste these lines of code, bring them to the right level of indentation together, and paste them about 5 more times. So let me copy the lines with correct indentation. 5, right? So we've got 3 lines of code that repeat 5 times. Let me create some kind of separation, and here we are. All right. So these three lines of code, the exact 3 lines of code, have been repeated 5 times. So we have 15 lines of code in our program right now that do the same exact thing. So obviously, looking at these 15 lines, let's say I take all of these 15 lines again and paste them. So now we have about 30 lines of code. So our code is now significantly bigger. This obviously creates a lot of confusion or information overload, which basically reduces the readability of our code. To improve this, what we could do is simply create a function called post_image like before that has these 3 lines of code because these are the 3 lines that are being repeated, and then we invoke this function the number of times that we want it, that we want these lines. So in this case we want it about 10 times, so I'm simply going to call this function about 10 times. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we've called this function 10 times, we run it, and well, we get the same output. The code does this, the same exact thing, but in less than half of the lines required. So that's pretty cool, right? That basically makes the structure of your code so much better. You're reusing 3 lines of code so many times in your program, so you don't need to type them out every time you want to use them. You simply type out the name of the function and call that function. And well, it's so much more readable now because every time you know that, okay, there's an issue with the post image function where, let's say that, your image isn't being posted, you know which function the issue is in. So you basically go into that function and then you debug the code there and you fix your code. So basically, it also helps you maintain your code in a much, much easier way or easier fashion. Well, that was about it for our functions introduction coding lesson. If you've got any questions about this, just put them down in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. At the same time, have fun and I'll see you in the next one with our lesson on function parameters. Super important and super fun.